The story begins with Billy Moore, a renowned British kickboxer residing in Bangkok, Thailand. He shares a home with a close friend, who is also a kickboxer. Despite his reputation in the ring, Billy's life is overshadowed by his involvement in the illegal distribution of yaba, a highly potent drug known to induce severe behavioral changes. Billy, a user himself, continues to distribute the drug, which makes him a target for the local authorities. His dual life, torn between his athletic career and his addiction, leads him to a precarious existence. One day, Billy enters the ring for a much-anticipated kickboxing match. However, having consumed yaba beforehand, he loses control mid-fight, causing the match to be stopped abruptly. This incident marks a turning point in his downward spiral. On another ominous night, Billy is on his way to a nightclub to distribute yaba when he realizes that he is being followed by the police. The following morning, the authorities raid his home, forcing Billy to take drastic action by hiding his stash in an unconventional place, his anus. However, the evidence against him is overwhelming, and he is ultimately arrested and sent to Quang Prem Prison, a notorious facility that houses some of the most dangerous criminals and gangsters. The reality of life in Quang Prem Prison hits Billy immediately. The overcrowded conditions force inmates to sleep crammed together in narrow spaces, wearing nothing but pants. His first night in the general cell is spent lying next to a deceased inmate, underscoring the harshness of prison life. The prison warden, aware of Billy's background as a drug dealer and user, approaches him and hints that drugs are still accessible within the prison, as he himself is involved in selling them to inmates. Billy soon realizes that the prison operates under strict rules. Smoking, tattoos, and fighting are strictly prohibited. During lunch, the competitive scramble for food triggers Billy's temper, leading to a fight with fellow inmates. This outburst lands him in solitary confinement, where he is chained by his feet and subjected to even harsher treatment. When he is eventually transferred to a cell occupied by ruthless inmates, he is treated with suspicion as the only foreigner. Initially, he is subjected to discrimination and forced to do push-ups repeatedly until he decides to fight back, intimidating the troublemakers and earning their respect. This marks a shift in his position within the prison hierarchy. The gangsters in the cell begin to see him as one of their own and offer him yaba, which is hidden and widely used by many inmates. One night, while heading to the bathroom, Billy witnesses a group of inmates harassing another prisoner. When he is threatened to keep silent, he realizes that this type of behavior is common in Quang Prem Prison. The next day, news spreads that the harassed inmate had taken his own life due to the abuse, leaving Billy devastated. Seeking solace, he turns to the warden for medication, but the warden refuses to provide it for free, demanding payment instead. This blatant act of discrimination triggers an angry outburst from Billy, who subsequently assaults a prison officer. The punishment is severe. Billy is beaten mercilessly by multiple wardens, sustaining significant head injuries. In the aftermath, Billy encounters Fame, a kind canteen worker who shows him compassion by offering medical treatment. When Billy regains consciousness, he finds his legs restrained, and the warden orders him to return to his cell. As he walks back, a group of inmates hurl derogatory comments at the canteen workers, who are transgender. Billy recognizes one of the workers as Fame, the person who had helped him. Filled with gratitude, Billy visits her to express his thanks. However, he also seeks cigarettes as a form of currency to secure better treatment and a more comfortable bed. Moved by his plight, Fame provides him with cigarettes, and Billy promises to repay her once he receives money from his family. One night, chaos erupts when a murder occurs in the prison, prompting a full-scale search by the wardens. During the search, a packet of yaba is found near Billy. He vehemently denies ownership, and to his relief, the wardens believe him, punishing the inmate standing next to him instead. The sound of the punished inmate's screams leaves Billy shaken. Days later, as his addiction to yaba intensifies, Billy approaches the warden once more, only to be met with a condition: he must beat up a Muslim cook against whom the warden holds a grudge. With no other choice, Billy complies, only to realize later that this incident is part of the warden's scheme to control the prison through violence and drugs. Guilt consumes Billy, and he contemplates suicide by cutting his veins, but another inmate intervenes and saves him. Billy's despair lifts slightly when a fellow kickboxer visits him, sharing news of a recent tournament victory. The visit rekindles Billy's passion for kickboxing, reminding him of who he once was. Determined to reclaim his identity, Billy decides to join the prison's Muay Thai training program. Initially, he is met with resistance, as the coach refuses to train foreigners. Undeterred, Billy tries to bribe the coach with cigarettes provided by Fame. The coach, impressed by Billy's determination, finally agrees to let him join. Billy's training reignites his fighting spirit, and he begins to excel, impressing the coach and earning opportunities to compete against seasoned opponents. With each passing day, his reputation as a skilled fighter grows, and he becomes known as White Tiger, a nod to the tiger tattoo symbolizing his unique spirit. He also continues to visit Fame, sharing moments of vulnerability and building a deeper connection. However, Billy's progress is threatened when he learns that Fame is involved with another inmate. Heartbroken, he spirals into another bout of yaba use, which impacts his training and behavior, resulting in solitary confinement once more. Despite these setbacks, Billy pulls himself together, focusing on the upcoming inter-prison Muay Thai tournament. He returns to training but faces physical and emotional challenges, including beatings from previous opponents seeking revenge. The pressure mounts when former cellmates demand repayment of the yaba and cigarettes he owed them, leaving him feeling trapped. Still, Billy trains harder, determined to prove himself. His health takes a hit when he is diagnosed with an inflammatory stomach disease caused by his drug use and rigorous training. Although advised to withdraw from the tournament, Billy chooses to push through. On the day of the match, he steps into the ring despite the pain. The fight is fierce, with no rounds to fall back on, only a final battle. Despite the punches to his weakened stomach, Billy fights with all the skill he has acquired. Billy manages to knock him out with a spinning back elbow and wins the fight using what he learned. Despite the victory, the physical trauma is too much, and Billy ends up vomiting blood and passing out. Billy is quickly rushed to the hospital, and after waking up, he sneaks out of the building and into the cityscape. Billy soon reconsiders his actions and returns to the hospital. After being transferred, he meets his father, played by the real Billy Moore, and the two exchange a solemn smile. Closing titles reveal that after serving 3 years, Billy Moore was transferred to a UK prison and released on an amnesty by the King of Thailand in October 2010. Since his release, he has devoted his life to working with other addicts and fighting to maintain his recovery.